Wait, I'm gonna
All right,
change my
don't,
film. I
don't,
don't.
don't, don't, don't.
My wardrobe is here.
I,
That would be
I,
very funny.
I'm gonna hurt you
Oh,
like a
okay.
lot,
You have 12 hours to reach me.
like a lot.
Oh God, no.
Oh no, I have friends in that. I have friends that aren't more than like 2 or 3 hours away from you, man.
Oh God, no.
At most, it's like at most it'd be like 4 or 5 hours, depending
No.
on how long it takes them to cross the border.
Oh, are they like in Dubai or what?
Yeah.
Oh, 8 hours if they want to reach me from Dubai. Yeah,
I have
I
there's a couple well there's I do know I do have a friend that's living in Egypt.
That's a fair old trek, mate.
Yeah.
Egypt. If it is a plane, need 2 hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because when I visit to Egypt, my mom visited Egypt 12 times.
Yep. It's a nice
She
place.
always,
I
yeah,
was there.
she always.
I was there
good.
once. I was in Cairo once for like 2 days. Gorgeous, beautiful, and what I saw of I mean, what you get to see of it for whopping like 7.5 hours that you're allowed outside when I wasn't actually working was gorgeous. But it was one of those where you're allowed to go out, but you have to come right back. We spend a lot of time in the service going from one hangar to another hangar, a lot.
Yeah.
and then spending a lot of time sitting there. But I mean, you need to turn your camera up some, so because all we can see is your chin and your belly.
Give me a second.
No, it's like when I say I've been to like Hungary or I've been to Bulgaria. It is technically true. I was in Bulgaria for 12 days.
Yeah.
Although all I saw was the inside of a tournament hall and a hotel, and the ride to the airport and back again,
back again,
and about 3 local cafes, and that is the extent of my knowledge of Sofia. But I've been there.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, that's what I said. Like it's gorgeous. It's like Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, gorgeous places. I was in Saudi Arabia for 6 months. I didn't see shit. I saw you guys got a lot. You guys got a lot of sand out there in the middle of nowhere.
Look, you was in a place called in Arabic Masjid. It between Kuwait and like the border, and that location is knowing how to have a lot of sand.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah,
my friends were stationed up at the Prince base, up there where there's actually people.
Yeah.
Right? Where there's people.
In Riyadh or in Arar or Hayel or location?
By Riyadh, was it like the Prince's?
Riyadh, the capital, yeah.
Yeah, the Prince's, like there's a base there, or was a base there. Like, I want to say there's like a national foresty kind of thing. Like we would call it a national forest, but it's kind of like a refuge or something out that way. But there were people out there, and then I was out in the middle of nowhere. I got to see a lot of nothing. I saw
a lot of sand.
Yeah, a lot of sand, a lot of Toyota pickup trucks, a lot of spiders, scorpions. Yeah,
Did you ever see a spider giving a ride to scorpion?
No, I never saw that. I never saw that, but we did have. You guys have a lizard out there too. That's really weird looking.
Yeah, it's called Dub. We eat it.
Is it? Do you really?
Yeah.
I don't remember if anybody ever told me that. It is a really creepy looking lizard. To be fair, like it blends in really well. Like you can almost step on them sometimes.
Is that the one have like spiky tail?
Yeah, the one that looks like a mini dinosaur.
Yeah, that one.
It looks like a little miniature.
It's called Dub. Yeah, it's called Dub, and we hunted it. But at the moment, after like 3 years, 4 years ago, they told us no longer hunting for this poor lizard because we are mass hunting it
Well, yeah.
near to extinction. It
Well,
tastes
yeah,
good,
that's
by the
what
way.
yeah, exactly. That's what human beings do with food sources that can't run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, hey, now don't no, they're not easy to catch. Don't think that they're easy to catch.
Yeah,
They're fast. They're really fast. And they flatten out really, really well under rocks. Like they're hard to get.
Yeah,
And
comparatively, mate, trust me, they
Oh,
are
yeah.
easy
And-
to catch.
Yeah, well, compared to
look,
compared
they
to
live with scorpion, by the way. If they have a hole, they live with the scorpion. Like the scorpion, they're guarding them for some
yeah,
reason.
you can't get that.
So-
You can't stick your hand down in the hole because it's full of scorpions.
Yeah, but what we do, we bring a big, what they call a barrel, water. I'm not joking. We do that. We bring large barrels, not
Of
barrels,
water.
barrels, and we
Dump
fill
it
up
down in the hole.
Yeah, not dump it. It's like we have a hose, and we put it inside and fill it with water and start coming out. And when the moment come out, we capture it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like no, actually most of the time, we need to be careful which one the first gonna come out. Is the
Scorpion
lizard or the scorpion?
scorpions? Yeah. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I almost stepped on them a couple times. They blend in really, really well. But it's funny you say that because we do that to groundhogs here in the States. Well, we have these. It's a large rodent, kind of like halfway between like a raccoon and a badger size, probably like the size of a large house cat, like a real fat house cat. And they live all over the place. And we cover their holes because they dig a whole bunch of holes out in like cow pastures. So you cover them with boards and rocks, and you throw little smoke bombs in there, and they chase out. But they're idiots. They run out. You let them get about 15, 20 feet away from the hole, and you shoot it. And then the next one runs out and looks at Bob and goes, "Bob, are you okay?" And then you shoot that one, and you just basically get a pile of groundhogs about 20 feet away from the hole.
There's a documentary on cat. I'm trying to capture one called Caddyshack. It's a good
Yes.
documentary.
Yeah, it's a documentary. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get started. We've been dorking around. We've been having a lot of time. We haven't had a chance to catch up. Greetings and salutations, everyone, live from the Blue Cheese Room here on the Dark Side of the Moon. This is Oblivion Unchained, season 4, episode 8. Both sides of the coin. My name is Rick. I'm the Loophole King. I'm your DM, and we will get started with our introductions. Again, as always, Manam, you're up. And now you're down.
Hey yo! No! I fixed the cam. This time the cam should be very good at the moment.
No,
Hello, everyone,
you
this
put
is
it up
Manam.
too high, and now you're fine. You're fine. You're
Okay.
fine. It's fine. I don't
This
care.
is Manam. This is Muhammad Salama. I play Jorgal. We in somewhere place that very confusing and very annoying.
What?
That's all I have.
There's nothing wrong with where you're at. It's perfectly fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sigh?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sai. I'm playing Ember. We got to meet my evil twin last week. It's going to be fun.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Krankus, the Minotaur Barbarian. As long as we stay together, no one else leaves, we're fine. But Jesus, Ember, how many family members do you have? I think we've.
What, good ones or evil ones?
Well,
You
she
have
has-
one that's good.
Well, so in her defense,
Good.
a lot of all of the dryads and naiads and things, orads, all consider themselves cousins because they technically are. So they all consider themselves cousins.
And they're all lovely.
Yes, and they're all lovely
all
people.
lovely.
They're all lovely people. Recently, Jorah has managed to get permission to date one of
I need-
Sai's cousins.
I need to meet the mom.
Oh, really? You don't want to meet my mum?
Not your mom, her mom.
Her mum. Yeah, well, her mum's a tree. She's lovely.
Yes, lovely lady.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't go very far, but, you know, hell of a nice person.
Wait, how she's a tree? She's a Nadia. What is
She's
it
a naiad.
Yeah, Niad.
She's a nut.
Not.
No, believe
someone-
me, she's a tree. And she's a very big, old, ancient one.
Yes.
Oh,
Tom?
The thing is, nymphs and naiads may live by water, but they're still attached to plants that grow in that area. In the same way that I'm attached to trees that grow in mountainous hills. Damn, where am I growing? Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Go on, Tom. Anything
up?
else?
No, I'm good. That was it.
Oh. Sorry, I have to mute this.
Last time.
Yeah.
Last time on Oblivion Unchained.
Dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
Previously, on Oblivion Unchained.
Does this spell the end for our dynamic trio? Tune in next time.
Well, so
glad the fact
the our intrepid group has stumbled into what can only be considered chaos incarnate. They are attempting to fix the spire, the amethyst spire, and realign the spires so they can save the world. Unfortunately for them, there's a lot of chaos going on, and when we last left our heroes, two of them are in... Let us activate this for everyone. There we go. They are in the crypt here in the tower, wandering around, looking at stuff. Ember happens to be in a state of unconsciousness.
Some would argue the best state for me most of the time.
Yes, you are not raging for some reason. I don't know why you're still raging. There we
oh
go.
God.
I'm always mad.
Jorah has been poisoned after a brief chat with what appeared to be Ember's long dead brother for some reason. And Ember and her loveliness is currently having a chat with her evil twin. Now, to let everybody know, here is what your evil twin looks like.
Well, better bloody be good looking.
It is good looking.
Can you see that?
Oh yeah, no, I look good. Yeah, I look good. I mean, I'm an evil bitch, but I look good.
Yes. Well, yes, that's the key. And
He's hot. He's hot.
she had said to you that you're weak and that you have no idea of your potential and are wasting it. And when we left, you were about ready to let us know.
I was going to give I was going to give me without a conscience a couple of words.
You seem to be stuck in a loop. Your picture is twitching and we can't see you talking.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, do you want me to duck and
Yeah.
rejoin?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Yeah.
Any better?
No, yes,
Yep.
much better. Yeah, you were stuck in like doing like the max headroom thing, like
Oh, right. Okay. Well, hopefully.
max headroom. Oh, I missed that. I missed that show. If you've never watched that show, that's an awesome show. It was like the mid '80s.
Yeah. Matt.
Matt Frewer. Matt Frewer.
Matt Brewer. That's right.
Yeah. Great character actor.
Provided the
Great
voice to me.
character actor. Wonderful person. So you had something you would like to say? Yes.
Yeah. Well, right at the end of last session, she delivered a sort of a little monologue saying, I'm everything you should have been if you'd only just grabbed all the power and stomped on everybody in the way. So why don't you just accept your fate and turn into me?
Yep.
That was the general gist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to look at her and I'm going to leave like 2 to 3 seconds of silence, and across the distance she can see I'm being utterly dismissive, and I then reply, everything you said was true except for one thing. You may have learnt more magical power than me, you may have conquered all who stood before you, but you aren't a goddess, and neither am I. I've been there and done that, and I gave it up gladly. When I say I'm a goddess, it means I am a mother and protector, not a conqueror. Do you know why you conquered and killed and slaughtered everything and everyone? I know, and it is why I will always be stronger than you. I was worshipped before, loved and waited on hand and foot. And it was boring and empty, and I willingly gave it up. I gave up what you yearn for and will never have. You never learn any real lessons from Mother. The lesson you should have learned is that living your life for yourself is empty and shallow. Your time at her side should have taught you that she's nothing more than a destroyer. She builds nothing, she creates only by accident, and even then does it poorly most of the time. What separates you and me is simple. It's not the people who worship us, or who are terrified of us, or even those who love and care about us. It is not anything that anyone can provide. That's why you have an empty hole where your soul should be. And that's why you will never be satisfied, no matter how much power you have, no matter who bows down before you, no matter what you do, nothing will ever fill that void. You will exist empty, alone, and inside a scared child who can throw tantrums that shake a world. Who cares? I learned a different lesson. I learned that the only thing that gives a life like ours meaning and purpose is who we care for and who we love. We are so long-lived. Without love and care, there is nothing but a huge space that nothing else will fill. It's never been about how they feel about us. Their opinions are irrelevant. It's how we feel about them. That's why I chose to serve Nadara rather than rule elsewhere. That's why I chose to oppose my family and save this world. It has people on it that I care about. And whilst I'm alive, I will always choose to do whatever I have to. I think power is casting spells or wielding magic. That isn't real power. Real power is helping others become more than they can be. It's raising them up, not striking them down. It comes from creation, not destruction. You as a female of all people should know that. So, you can rise up off the throne of bones, and even try and defeat me. And it's just possible you might be able to. You will never win, because I will never stop. And whatever it happens to me, you will always be alone, terrified, and without honor. So live in shame and die empty.
She lets you finish your diatribe. her
Mhm.
little monologue, as she leans there against the throne. She stares at you for a moment after you're done and says, "Oh, you think I care? You
No, I know you don't.
you think
That's
that
the point.
you think that what you're doing is going to help them, but it's not, because you don't even know who you're fighting.
I know precisely who
You
I'm
don't know. You don't know who the real enemy is. But I tell you what, I'll give you a chance." She slowly steps off of the throne, makes her way towards you. As she walks, you can see the bones underneath her feet crunch and crack, and you can see this aura of fire around her that just kind of singes the tops of the bones. And she looks at you and says, "I tell you what, if you can cause me any pain whatsoever, inflict anything upon me, I'll tell you who your real enemy is. You already know. You just won't put the pieces together because your tiny little mind is busy worried about your friends. You're worried about your family. You're worried about the peasants. You don't see the big picture. And until you expand yourself and cast away these worldly things and think above your station, you never will. And you'll lose. And you'll end up wishing you had listened to me. So go ahead. Do your worst. Try it." And she raises her arms outstretched as if to give you the first attempt.
What size am I at the moment, and what size is she?
She is about 12 feet tall, and you're your
Okay.
normal 5 foot whatever.
4'7".
Yeah, 4 foot 7. Yeah, you're you size. She is basically the size that you become when you're near your dad without his help.
Mm. I'll grow up to her size. I'll will myself to her size because I
Okay.
can probably do anything in here.
Okay. You
I will walk right up to her.
okay.
I'm not threatening her. Like, I'm not physically trying to threaten her. I'm going to walk up to her, and I'm going to hug her, and I'm going to whisper in her ear, "All you need is to love someone." And I'm going to step away.
Oh God.
Give me a persuasion check. You have in here. You have no ongoing spells in here, quote unquote. None of your foresight or any of that is active at the moment. So that is your
Well, okay. Well, that's actually I get a minimum of 10 on that. So the minimum roll is 27.
okay.
Inspiration?
I can't inspire myself, buddy.
No, inspiration. What they call inspiration.
That's all right. Uh, um,
So
27 ought to be okay.
okay. So as you whisper in her ear, you see her image flicker slightly, as if the illusion here is affected. Like you are not succumbing to what is happening here. And her illusion flickers for a second, and then it shifts. As you step back, it shifts, and you see a small child standing there wearing these kind of fancy utilitarian, like a fancy utilitarian robe. And you recognize this child. It's you when you were living with your father.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks up at you
Okay.
and says,
I'm going to drop down to her size.
"It's not grandfather. It's Thar-Zadun. Give me a religion check."
Okay. One of my best ones. Well, I'm rolling bad.
Roll again. You have advantage on this because you are technically into. Wow.
10.
Okay.
I do have an inspiration point. I am prepared to burn
okay.
it.
That is on you. There you go. You get advantage on your roll, so go ahead. Give it another whirl. A 23. You recognize this name. And you realize you recognize the name. You've never heard this name before. Like you're searching your memory, like you don't recall being taught about this person in any way, shape, or form. But you have this instinctive knowledge from your patron, Nadara, and your tie to these other elder gods. Thar-Zadun is the demon lord of chaos. His title is the Chained Oblivion.
Right.
He has been, during the War of the Gods versus the old evil gods, he was bound by Orad and the rest of them by 12 chains in the lower planes. Bound there forever. The Lord of Chaos doesn't have a tie to the material plane any longer. Or so you thought.
I was going to say I was surprised there's not some kind of tie through Slozakar or Slozakar himself.
He's actually, with that knowledge, also comes with that higher role, also comes the fact that he is the one who spawned your grandfather.
Oh, Christ.
He is the creator of the any of the lower the demigods that spawn chaos, destruction. utter contempt for
He's-
life itself. Those demon lords, the ones that sow death and destruction. Not the ones like Asmodeus, who is an upper demon lord, who is more of a planner, right? You know, Asmodeus, Balal. He is in the same league with like, in the elder pantheons. He would be up there with like Baal and Merkel and Grummish, those guys. Anybody who likes to just sow utter chaos. His goal is to completely destroy the universe and remake it in his warped image of random and chaos.
No. Okay, we're going to have to be stopping that then.
And she looks at you and says, and she reaches up, taps your heart, and goes, "This will help." And then taps your forehead, and says, "Think about what has happened. All that you are, and all that your friends are, has led you to here.
Yes.
And you feel slightly dizzy as you start to come out of this and awaken back. But as you're doing that Scooby-Doo fade out, everything that you've done from the time you woke up on the beach to now flashes through your memory.
All right. Okay.
And you appear. Where is my? Why did it keep? I don't know why it keeps doing that. Aha! Here we go. And you reappear. Well, you awaken just as these two knuckleheads have finished dorking off with your the image of your brother.
Oh right.
You awaken staring at a pair of wings and a giant spiked tail. You were staring at the ass end of Krampus because you were over his shoulders.
Krampus?
Yeah.
I'm awake now. You can put me down.
I put her down.
Thank you for.
Put her down gently.
Thank you.
Why did you pull me
Appreciate
there
it.
when I was unconscious and you pick her up?
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I feel a bump in my back of a head.
Hey, you want another one?
No!
Well, there you go then. Don't worry about it. Honestly.
We
Some people.
have this game, like, you know, you want to, like, we play when we were tiny minotaurs. It's called How Many Lumps of Sugar You Want? How many you want? 3 or 4?
I step back and
Ember,
How many-
you awaken in what appears to be a summoning room of some sort. There's a large brazier where the coals have the final embers of these coals are cooling off. Your compatriots seem to be slightly worse for wear. Jorah does not look healthy at all.
he look green.
Yeah, he's got that green look. You've seen it before. This has happened before to your party members enough. You recognize that he's poisoned. It's kind of bad. It's not good. I mean, this is not a he'll be fine tomorrow kind of thing. This is bad.
While Crank is putting...
Would you allow?
Go ahead.
Okay. Would you? I was just going to ask. Does Greater Restoration on poison?
I don't know what you say.
Well, it says one effect that of either charmed or petrify the target. It removes a level of exhaustion. Any reduction to any one of the target's ability scores, reducing the target's hit point maximum. So including the target's attunement to a cursed magic item.
Why doesn't it? Because it doesn't specifically say that, but you do
I
have.
suppose because poison does reduce hit. I don't know if it reduces hit point maximum.
No,
It certainly
it
reduces
doesn't.
hit points.
Nope.
It gives me a disadvantage in my skill check.
No. Why does it not do that? Is it because you have the ability to remove?
Or maybe it's covered under lesser restoration, but I don't have that one.
Yeah, I mean, if lesser restoration would work, then greater restoration should work. Let me see Let me see restoration. Hold on. Real simple. I can look it up. Give me 1 second. Restoration is. You have that as a druid, right?
No, I'm not high enough level druid to cast it as a druid spell. I am high enough bard to cast it as a bard spell, but it's not one of my bard spells known. I can cast greater restoration.
Well, it's not a bard spell. Oh, it's
Lesser
lesser restoration. It's under lesser. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Restoration is a bard spell.
It's level 2 if I remember. Oh, yeah, level 2.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so if lesser restoration fixes that, why doesn't greater restoration fix that plus everything else?
Yeah.
That seems kind of dumb to me. I'm not a fan of weird wordings.
Okay. Will you allow me to use greater restoration to remove?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
you
cool.
lose
In
you
which
lose
case, I'm
the
gonna
you
burn
lose
my-
the diamond dust that goes with it. So
That's fine. It's a greater restoration uses once per day without. I don't have to, because it came from the the
book?
grimoire.
Okay.
It's a spell I can use once a day, and I don't have to chip in the material component.
Oh well, then yeah.
If
Go
I
ahead.
use if I try to cast it again with a 5th level spell slot, I then need the material component to be able to
Oh,
do
okay.
it.
Yeah,
But
no
my
problem. You get a freebie, and you
my
can
one
continue to
use per
cast
day.
it as long as you use the spell slots. Sure. Yeah, if lesser restoration works on poison, then greater restoration should work on poison plus everything else.
Okay. Well, in which case, please remove the poison condition from.
I will remove the poison condition.
Manam.
Manam, are you shy any hit point things? Do you have any exhaustion? Nothing that's reducing your hit point maximum, correct?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Like I'm fine, only poison.
It just hit him for a bunch of poison damage and gave him the poison condition, if I remember correctly.
It's this room that when we
Mm-hmm.
entered, we had to make a Constitution save, and Joragal failed it by a.
Yeah, because your dad was kind of, your brother was kind of a dork wide. Yeah. All right. So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm looking to Amber while she casted that greater restoration. Thank you, Amber. Are you okay? What happened? Okay, first I wake up, then I seeing Krankus pulling me and holding you in his shoulder.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, no, I did say thank you.
No, not to you.
You literally was okay. Thank you. Just and
Look, that's so tough. But don't you feel better now?
I just to understand what's happened. I opened a door, then I found myself inside the city.
Mm.
Then I open other house. It was empty, but I can hear some voices. Then do you remember that dwarf that we first long time in
A
what do you
halfling.
call it? The halfling, sorry, in the deck bay in the warehouse that I wanted to finish her off, but Leon did not allow. Ember?
You're muted, Sai.
Sorry, my partner came in, so I had to mute briefly. Yes, I do remember the halfling.
Yeah, I start following her, then until to the sewer. Then other dark elf appeared also. They start blabbering about something and something, and I wake up.
Well, I found out exactly who's behind it all, and it's not my grandfather.
Wait, what?
No, it's my grandfather's boss, basically his creator.
Well. Your
So
grandfather
your
have
great.
your grandfather have a creator.
Yes.
Your grandfather literally locked this place, summoned a large creature by himself, or by playing with your uncles and auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, your mother, only one. Your mother and your uncles by
Yep.
himself and screw up the
Yep.
almost entire world by himself.
Yep.
And he's not the boss. He's not the
No.
one who.
If he's your grandfather's creator, does that make him your great grandfather?
No.
I'm confused.
So am I. But
Terrified.
look. That too. Well, look. How can I explain it? My grandfather is Typhon. He's basically a demon who is known as the father of monsters. Somebody
Does-
created him. Farak Gur. He is basically the embodiment of chaos, and is using the fact that if my mother and her siblings release my grandfather, that will create enough chaos to destroy reality, so he can remake it in his own image.
Well,
That's the
he
plan.
needs to get. He is currently chained in one of the lower planes, supposedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you decide to delve into what you were told to delve into, you might find more information.
Which I'm going to, but limited resources of information in the dungeon. Need to go speak to somebody.
Yeah, we need to talk to somebody that know everything. I have 3 people in my mind, and all of them are assholes. Okay, let's.
I have one in my mind, and and I'm fairly sure if I can get a chance to speak to her, she'll tell me everything I need to know.
Excellent. At the moment, we need to fix this tower, and I don't
Yes,
like
we
this
do.
tower. It's really confusing. It's really judgmental. It feels like judging me.
Oh,
Krankus, are you going to
Believe
tell
me.
her about what you found in the other room? Since she was unconscious for that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think. I'm trying to remember what that was.
The statue that talked to you?
Yeah. Hey, a statue was talking to me in the other room. In the.
Okay, Krank has become crazy.
okay, Krankus, what did the statue say to you?
Trying to remember. Out of character.
It's
Well, maybe we should go back and speak.
I can go talk to it.
It's just the statue that's been talking to you, nothing else.
No, nothing else. Just a statue.
Okay,
Wait,
that'll do.
if it is the statue in the other room, I was awake when you were pulling me. and didn't talk.
It talked. You're the one with the bump on your head.
Because he pulled me.
I saved you. You were out. You're wandering. You're the one who sees somewhat halfling wandering around in a city. Does this look like a city to you? We're inside.
I mean, I don't know. I told you this place is confusing. Really, really confusing.
Yes.
That statue.
Totally agree with you. I think we should go back and I think we should go back and investigate this other statue and see whether or not it helps.
You can look at it.
Let's go back and have a look at this statue.
It's back this way. So.
Let's go.
Behind you.
I'm going to basically follow.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm going to examine the statue. Is it a representation of a figure that I'm familiar with?
It is a old. It's an elderly gentleman, looks human, wearing some robes that are like a dark purple with some silver trim on them, holding a staff, and you can just make out the inscription on it, and it says, Anders, the Seeker of Vidian.
Yep. Anders. Kind of got it right. It's close.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was hauling you two around.
No, that's fine, Crankus. But it was this statue that was talking to you?
There's this statue.
Saying anything at the moment?
Nope.
Let me.
Jorah.
Yep.
You notice a secret door right here.
I turn.
Now that you're not being dragged by your ankles.
I'm looking.
As you come down the steps, you start to walk, and you're like, I'm going to take a look at it. Well, that wall's kind of odd.
Give me a second. I will check if there are any traps.
Okay, give me a perception check.
I'll move back a little bit. Just up.
Anything?
It is not trapped, but it is warded. So there's not a physical trap, but there is a magical ward in place.
Yeah, I remember. I've been working with.
You're like, well, I don't see any tripwires. I don't see any. And then because this place is so old, you see these faint etchings of a couple of the rocks look kind of weird, and they kind of like light up, and then as you blink a couple times and turn your head, you're like, oh, that's a rune. I should probably not touch it. And you like take a step, you like pull your hand away from the stones a little bit. You're like, oh yeah, that's a rune.
Okay. Can I do what I did before that? Try to dispel, outscript the rune itself. I did.
Yes,
that before.
absolutely you can. First, give me an Arcana check to see if you can determine what kind of rune it is first.
19.
Oh yeah, it is a very powerful glyph of warding.
Okay. That's quite scary.
It is a very powerful one. You have seen a couple of these before. They weren't quite as intricate. The way I do like glyphs of warding and things like that is the more intricate the runes are, the more powerful the spell level of the rune that was placed. So if you cast just a generic glyph of warding at 3rd level, it's kind of a basic glyph. It's like, yeah, cool. The higher level spell slot that you would use on glyph of warding, the more intricate the runes are because there's more power tied into that rune.
So it is a level 9.
I'm gonna ping him a bardic inspiration.
Yes,
and then
it is the most powerful rune you've seen.
Okay. I'll turn back. I might die, literally. So I will ask both of you to step far from this room.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll retreat to where Manan suggests I should retreat to.
Yeah.
I believe
not,
you should
not
be
in the room.
covered, like-
Not in the room, right? So you have a bardic inspiration. This will be a thieves' tools check. Be sleight of hand is what I normally use.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have all my equipment and I have things. I hope it work because I should be have good. So I hope I roll
Didn't-
good.
Because you rolled so well on your Arcana check, I will give you advantage on this roll. Because you basically are like, oh, I know what this spell. You know what the spell is, and you know how to disarm it. It's can you do it in a way that doesn't set it off, right?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Do I? What is spell? Just to curiosity.
The spell
Yeah.
is called Glyph of Warding. It's the actual spell name of the spell. It's called Glyph of Warding. You basically ward an entryway or something that could be closed, and it explodes with whatever, either a spell that you have. You can put a spell into it, or you can have it just do straight, acid damage or cold damage or necrotic or whatever kind of damage you have access to. So it literally could do anything to you. Most commonly, it's fire or cold or acid or poison, one of the basic lightning, thunder damage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Some casters can put spells into it, so it could teleport you, it could petrify you, it could turn you into a puppy dog, a slug, yeah, all kinds of things.
I will take a big breath, take out my stuff out, take out my thief tools and the scritching, so to try to cut off all this glyph, and I'll put focus in each word of this glyph and try to cut off the connection about it.
Okay, you have advantage on the roll.
Yeah, you've got a D12 and guidance.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll all that because I'm scared. Where's my D12 and D4?
36. 39?
9.
I hope that's enough.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of like peeking around the corner watching him do this. Ember, you can't quite see him. Because you're only 5, because you're only 4'7", there's this is like a 3-foot retaining wall, basically. And then there's this big ass statue. You're like peeking around the corner, and you're basically just waiting to see if there's a big flash of light, right?
Yeah.
And I hope somebody clips this really bad, because you're glitching again, and it's just you putting the food in your mouth and then doing it again and doing it again. It looks like you're shoveling food in every like 2 seconds. It's funny as hell.
Sorry. Can you see me moving properly now?
No. No. It's your camera. Yeah, it's your camera.
Oh my god,
That's hilarious. Now you're fine. Yeah, you're good now. But yeah, it was just when you bent down to take a bite, and as soon as it was basically just showing you spoon come out of scene, into your mouth, then back down again, and just you ducking your head, putting food into your mouth like.
Can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
We could hear you fine. Like we could hear you fine. It was your camera that was glitching out.
It was just a camera.
Yeah.
Glitching.
Krankus, on the other hand, Krankus can totally see. Where'd Krankus go?
Oh, I moved way back.
Oh,
I believe in you, buddy.
Then
I believe in you.
Then Krankus can't even see
I
you.
believe in you.
Okay, I was gonna say you could see him, but you can't because you're behind 2 doors and a 50-foot hallway. Krankus is like, I'm gonna be outside if you need me.
While he's saying that, I remember Leon.
Yeah.
When I told him get back, he's stuck behind me and looking at the glyph, doesn't care about the word. Like, I'm gonna stick with you.
So you manage to start scraping. You find the connection, like the one line that is unbroken all the way around it, and you're like, kind of chisel away, and you're like dusting off. And it for things like this, I always say it takes about a minute to 5 minutes because you spend a lot of time. Like, this is not something you're like, oh, well, you know, basically take a rock and like chip a piece off of it. You're like, well, hope this works. You know, it's more involved. I mean, that's what Krankus would do. Krankus would be like, if I hit it hard enough, it won't work, right? That is not the.
I'll just break the stone apart. No more rune, no more glyph, right?
Yeah. That is not what paranoid Jorah is doing. Jorah is taking his sweet ass time to make sure he doesn't get blown into a different dimension. You succeed, but as you break it, you see the glyph kind of flare, like it's starting to flare, and then as the magic kind of phases through the rune, it hits that spot where you disconnected it, and then goes dark. And you hear from the statue in your head, because it comes from like this side, but nobody else can hear it. It says, "Well, that is impressive."
Whoa, God, freaking! Why the hell? I'll look around to see where the sound was coming from.
There's nobody in the room but you and this statue.
I turn back, look at you. You can't talk. Okay, Krankus is not crazy. This is not the weirdest thing that I see, but
Well, of course
Satyr's
I
talking.
can. Well, of course I can talk. Ember, you hear this now. It's now out loud.
I'm very pleased to meet you. What's your name, sir? Anders?
It's Anders will do fine.
I'm Ember.
I'm not really. I'm not really Anders. I'm a leftover. A remnant.
I understand.
Can I understand what meant to be remnant?
Give me an Arcana check, both of you.
Okay. 19?
Krankus is coming back in the door. I believe in you, Jorah, and then runs back. Going back.
So,
I've got advantage on that, but I'm sure 21.
Yeah, 21 is fine. It was it wasn't quite as high as a 19. You know that remnants are basically magical impressions when some sort of when some sort of magical creation is made. Sometimes if it's high level magic and it's kind of new, or it pulls from one of the different planes of existence to get some things done, occasionally there is a residual impression of the creator or whatever mage, wizard, sorcerer put their magical energy into it. Some mages are even more adept at doing that, oh crap, what's her name? Agatha, who can who can split part of her essence off. This is kind of like that. It's not nearly as powerful as what Agatha did to make Ani Sabalit, but it's in that same kind of realm.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Sai, you're stuck again. It is something with your